What's up, guys? Zoe Ahri here, back for another VOD review. Today, a VOD review from Milk. Milk, of course, just got back from the Esports World Cup. He was playing for Team Vitality. That's why you could see the VIT tag. So cool to see, orgs like that moving into TFT. And we actually have, an org name in the title of a player. But I wanted to talk about Milk. I wanted to VOD review this game because I think Milk is someone who is known far and wide as a very, very good reroll player. The time that I first really got introduced to Milk, I was just starting really to get serious about the game. Set 5.5, and he did his famous Worlds run where he almost 20 out of 20'd a one-cost reroll comp Kledge, and was just playing that basically every game, and was known for that on the world stage. And so I want to VOD review Milk this game because there's a reroll comp that I really want to talk about, and we're going to be able to talk about it in a couple of seconds when we see our augment, because that is really what's going to determine this spot here. So, going into 2-1 here. Shields up, long distance palace, portable forge, all not great. Shields up, if you're playing some kind of Vanguard setup, can be good, but yeah, and like portable forge, there's specific spots where it's good, but I kind of hate taking it at 2-1 in spots like that. I just kind of hate taking it because I feel like 4 options is just not that enough. But reroll long distance palace and Spellblades here. Spellblades, one of the best augments in the game. Still, it got nerfed, right? It was really, really broken last patch. They nerfed it and a lot of the other augments, and it's still one of the best augments in the game. So Spellblades here, I think, is just an easy pickup. We can reroll the other ones in case we see something crazy, but we certainly want to be playing around Spellblades, and the idea is Spellblades into Zoe reroll. So the only thing that is kind of interesting to me about this spot, though, picking Spellblades and playing Spellblades into Zoe reroll, is that, one, we have one Zoe, one Poppy. We don't have a lot of the units so far. We have 0 tiers, which is, in my opinion, one of the most important things when you're actually playing this comp. Also, I didn't even notice this, but if we move our head here, jump back a second here, Ice in our game, Ace Ice calls Zoe as well. So we are potentially contested Zoe reroll in this spot, which is really, really, really scary. But yeah, in my opinion, our spot doesn't even actually look that good to play Zoe reroll, which is kind of one of the reasons I wanted to VOD review Milk, because I feel like when he plays reroll comps, you'll see him in spots like this, and you'll be like, his spot doesn't even look that good. And then you just look at his performance in the actual game, and he just somehow wins out the lobby. I don't understand how this guy does it, how he has this understanding of reroll comps and how to play them so well. But I want to watch him this game just to see how he decides to play around this comp. But pick up the Zoe, pick up the Ahri. I think maybe in Milk's head, he's still flexible in this spot. I do like playing the double Zoes just to try to assassinate stuff. And yeah, I really want to get them all on one side here just so that we can try to kill stuff. But I like that he lines up his Zoes, right? This is really smart positioning. I've talked about this before, but when you are playing Lost Streak like this, and you need to play Lost Streak almost always when you're playing Zoe roll, it's kind of interesting. I'll talk to more of that in a second, but just from the assumption that we're playing Lost Streak, when you're playing for this, 3 champions start. Okay, I'm just reading the chat in his game for some reason, but when you're playing for Lost Streak, you want to kill at least a unit every round, ideally, one unit if you can, and by positioning all your units in a line like this, it gives you very, very high odds of just focusing down one unit. Just perfect once again like this. Look at both the Zoes aggroed onto the Warwick there. Zoe also a really good unit at killing units. She's completely single target. She just sends her blast at that unit. And when you have a couple of Zoes, you can line them up as well. They'll benefit off each other's MR shred. It's perfect. So I imagine we go for tier here off carousel for playing for Zoe. Yup. Just yoink the tier here. This is actually really, really nice because tier was on our side, and this is the other player. So let's go back and look. This is the other player contesting us, Ice. I don't know. There's a Chinese player named Ice, but I think this is just a different person, Ace Ice. Yeah. In any case, their spot, yeah, I would think their spot actually looks a lot better to play Zoe. If I'm Milk here, I'm actually really scared to play Zoe from this spot because look at their spot: 2 Zoes, 2 Lilies, 4 Poppies, and Ahri. And they have a tier and a bow already. Their components are much better, and they have Spellblades. So our spot is basically worse than theirs in every way, I would say, except for the main thing that just happened here is that we picked up a tier off carousel, which is nice, right? Having a tier off carousel means that we are more likely to get double tiers throughout the rest of the game compared to them because we got one of our tiers off carousel. That doesn't come out of the item pool that we have. So this is really, really nice. We are also, wow, we didn't even scout that much, but I think Milk knows that Ice is going to be inting, trying to get that 5 loss here to have enough econ to actually roll down on 3-1. So it's really just a war of who can actually int here. Ooh, this is interesting as well. What was that? Let's go back to Planner and see what he threw. Seraphine into Planner there. I wonder if there's a version of this comp now where you actually play around Seraphine as well, is like, I mean, maybe his idea is to have another out, right? If you miss on Zoe, Seraphine did get buffed this patch, so maybe you can play around Seraphine. I gotta delve into the stats because that's interesting. Seraphine in the planner. Okay. This is difficult. This is actually really difficult because we need to make 40 gold here, but we also don't want to play Witchcraft, but it's impossible to not play Witchcraft. No, you could play Witchcraft and not make 40 gold, right? You would just not have a melee unit to play, right? Because you would have to play Lilia, Zoe plus Ahri. I mean, that sounds good, right? Cutting Witchcraft is certainly your ticket to winning this game, or to losing this fight. Looks like he's just going to sack the possibility of making 40 gold and play this board, which is certainly a little bit weaker. He didn't actually trap this Poppy, which is kind of weird. But because he moves his units back, this is another like really important thing. Because he moves his units back here, the enemy front line has to walk up. So we kind of negate the downside of like locking ourselves in here. The enemy did put a Lily in the front line. It'll be interesting to see who wins this. I mean, the double Zoe is a much better unit to play here. So yeah. Beautiful stuff from Milk from the start. So yeah, this was really big. He sacked making 40 gold here in order to int optimally here, and it's worth it, right? It's like we have way more gold than this guy now because we're keeping our loss streak. So it makes a lot of sense. And look at this, wow, the 2-7, a little bit of rolling here. He's not going to roll too deep. He's not going to like roll to 0 or anything like that, but just the one roll there to try to start picking up some units already. There's Sword, which, like I said, like blue buff tends to really be what you want in this comp. So yeah, ooh, yeah, these components don't look that great. Like, yeah, you do have, I mean, TG actually tends to be pretty good in this comp, but ooh, reroll fall 1 cost. Okay, so Milk has committed to playing this comp, potentially from contested. We'll see. I mean, he definitely is contested. We'll see if Ice decided to contest him. And it's a very not deep roll down, actually. He just rolls for the entire board 2-starred. He doesn't actually roll any deeper for anything else. I really want to scout Ice here, and is he going to make some slams here? Okay, he is. He's going to slam Shojin and JG onto Ahri. Okay, so this is something else that I wanted to talk about with this comp, because certainly like the initial version of this comp was like a Zoe carry comp, right? You played all your items onto Zoe, but look, Ice and Milk also just both itemizing Ahri here. I think the more the people play this comp, the more they have realized that it's not necessarily like a Zoe reroll comp. Ahri actually really carries the comp in the late game. So higher education, the statistics on it, when taken when you are in this comp, are actually quite good. Because we know we're contested, we could just take Heroic Grab Bag to kind of guarantee that we can hit on RE3, but I don't know, I'm still really interested to see where this game goes, because you need to hit everything. So I don't know if you can just like go for Ahri in this comp. You kind of have to still go for everything here. I'm really interested to see how Milk plays this out here. But I think he's checking the stats here. The stats say Heroic Grab Bag's better. Okay, I'm down. There's a Poppy, which is nice. We still don't have a Hecarim, which is usually who you fit on this board, but I guess we can play a bunch of duplicates. And hey, we have a lot of stuff here, right? Oh yeah. Let's go back in and look at the scout here on the contest here. So this player, 5 Ahris. They took Scholar +1, not amazing. 6 Poppies as well. So basically a very similar spot to us, but more Ahris, right? That we both have 6 Poppies, but we only have 3 Ahris, but we did just take the duplicators. But we are playing fully contested Zoe reroll. Now, there are a lot of 1 costs in the pool. What is the exact number? I'll pull up the statistics. I'm sure somebody in the comments will be like, I knew the exact number. It was 30. So there's 31 costs in the pool, which theoretically means both of us can like easily take 18 1 costs out of the pool. Like it's fine, but it's not exactly how things work in TFT. Like you by playing all of these units. Yeah, by taking all these units out of the pool and being contested, it is a much harder thing for us to hit in this situation. So yeah, I'm interested to see when we actually do end up hitting this game, and like how the game in general goes from contested. But I mean, I think Milk's read is that even from not that great items, even from, you know, like nothing crazy, we still have a better spot than, you know, if we just played anything else, which is wild to me. But I mean, I could certainly see it. Carousel here. So we did end up making JG. Like I said, TG actually I kind of like in this comp a lot. Milk's just going to go for the Cloak here, actually. I don't know if this is for a Gargoyle or for just like an Ionic Spark down the line, because I think Ionic Spark is a decent deal, though Ahri does deal true damage, so I don't know how big of a deal it actually is in this comp. I mean, we'll see what Milk's priority is on it here. Random minor effect here. We're looking for just like more rerolls or something, but combat's fine. And looking like, yeah, he is down to just make this Gargoyle here. Ooh, this is also an interesting idea here. We have 7 Poppies, and he opts to itemize Lilia. So it looks like Milk is really a fan of itemizing Lilia in this comp over Poppy here, because I think, like, if you were down to itemize them both equally, you would really want to itemize the Poppy here, right? We have 7. Like we could have Poppy 3 here if we wanted to waste both of our dupes, but obviously we don't want to do that. But yeah, that's interesting here that he opts to itemize the Lily instead. But I mean, okay, we're gonna continue to roll down here, slow rolling all our gold above 50, still picking up those Seraphines. We have 5. Okay, so the second that we actually need to sell maybe like a Seraphine for Econ, we do opt to just sell. So, and it looks like, yeah, he's gonna sell Seraphine here as well. So I kind of wanted to see the world where we ended up actually playing Seraphine on this board, and like, I mean, you could just fit her as like a +1 here, but like, I don't know. It's not amazing, but hey, I mean, it's another out, right? It's another unit that you can hit 3-star, and that's any unit that you hit 3-star is kind of like a AP battery for your team. And you get more AP using Ahri's Arcana bonus, so I could see it. But that's interesting. I don't know. I want to go through Milk's match history and see if he has more games playing like this. Okay, let's look at items here. And ooh, Zoe 3 is fantastic here. So we don't have a Marsh right yet. There's obviously the Static Shiv idea, but the problem with Static Shiv is then you're kind of stranded with your other items. We do have like a Giant Slayer that you could build onto Ahri and just boom, have your third Ahri item built. That makes the most sense to me, I think. Just Giant Slayer, Ahri, keep this open for maybe like a Static Shiv, keep glove open for Steadfast TG or something like that. We'll see though. That's Zoe 3. I think interested to see, because I think okay, and Milk is just gonna roll the rest of his gold on 6. He knows with only 4 Ahris, I need to pick up Ahri 3. Also, he's looking at maybe just, oh, the tier Zoe Slam and just Shojin. Okay, so it's interesting how we're splitting our items this game. I mean, Zoe 3 is obviously quite solid. But yeah, like this is interesting that we're splitting our items like this, because I think this is, in general in TFT, like kind of a big no-no. Like having a 2-item Ahri and a 1-item Zoe, you usually just want to get to 3-item, Ahri first like that. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not reinforcement. Explosive growth is like actually probably not terrible, but you want good combat augment here. Capricious Force sounds fantastic. It has to be that. Yeah, okay, great. We get a little bailed out there. That augment is really, really good for us. Ooh, Animate Chop is really good as well, because we can just use all of these free rolls. There's another Ahri. Still picking up the Seraphines, which is interesting. 1 off Lilia. Just waiting for these free shop refreshes to die down. We pick up the Bard as well. Yeah, 1 off Lilia here. Ooh, these are fun Poppy items. But yeah, I really, really like the TG onto Poppy. Like I said, TG in general, just a good item, and the Radiant TG, or not the Radiant, but the Blacksmith TG makes a lot of sense as well. I wonder, actually, maybe his idea behind itemizing Lilia over Poppy is that he's holding this glove. He knew that maybe he was going to have a TG, and TG is probably better on Poppy than it is on Lilia, just because Poppy can use more stats. I could see it, certainly. All right, but yeah, we win that last fight. We're now, oh my god. Oh, I mean, we just send it. Now we have Ahri 3, which is fantastic here. And now we can just start pushing levels. Boom, there's Ahri 3. So yeah, we ended up contested. I want to see what Ace Ice ends up placing this game, and if they've hit their entire board, because like if we both play this comp contested and we both top 4, then like then like all bets are off. Like everybody should just be playing this comp every game. But I don't know if we'll get there. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, we're 3 Bastion, 3 Scholar. It's kind of awkward right now. You definitely want to start pushing levels so that we can get in the 4 and 4, which is what you're really looking for. We have Bow and Glove open, right? Yeah, so I don't know. I'm still looking at maybe the Giant Slayer, maybe the Static Shiv, maybe Nashers. Okay, yeah, I mean, Nashers a great usage of the bow. The only scary thing is that, like RMR Shred components are gone. But I think the way it looks, the way Milk has been playing this, it really looks like he doesn't care that much. Ooh, okay, it's gonna be Guardbreaker, hold bow open. Okay, I kind of love that actually. Guardbreaker, like theoretically is a really, really good Ahri item with the JG. We already have JG built, so Guardbreaker is really, really nice. And you also get to get the Guardbreaker proc on the Ahri orb, which is really, really nice. So I like this a lot actually. And it leaves the bow open for Nashers for Zoe, which is like one of her best items. So yeah, I think this makes perfect sense, and we can just chill on this board. Also, it looks like this Ice guy, 12 HP. He really like did not hit or something. The Scholar +1 was not doing work for him, because yeah, it looks kind of like he is just losing out here. I want to scout him one more time, but he's not in our pool. I mean, yeah, it looks like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer here. Milk, a really, really good spot to play this comp, and this Ice guy just, I don't know. I want to see what went wrong with his game, because like I said, his spot actually looked a little bit better than Milk's, but maybe just the way Milk itemized this game. I think he's been really, really smart about the way he built items here. Just like greeting for this Guardbreaker here with the JG is really smart. Ice down to 1 HP. I think we did, okay, yeah, we did scout him. Oh, so he's just, Oh, it's so rough. He's just stuck on no RE3, right? And no Lilia 3. He just didn't hit, right? And he's got triple item Poppy, which is not ideal. He's got a Morello stuck here. Yeah, I mean, his items look far worse than ours. And he took Pandora's items, so, like, he took Pandora's to not even have much better items. And the big thing is he just doesn't have the RE3. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, just Milk being a beast. I mean, really, really smart for him to take this duplicator augment here to guarantee that he can get to RE3 and to push 6 when he did, to not roll like deeper on 5 to use level 6. Okay, let's look at our item possibilities here. Looking at Static Shiv, probably, I would think, unless we really don't care about. I mean, I think you would have wanted Nashers onto Zoe here, but we can't go for that. So, is he looking at like Static Shiv Crown Guard, Static Shiv like Steadfast or something? Maybe Crown Guard, just because, you know, yeah, and he's looking at the AP scaling on Lilia. So I have to imagine this is Static Shiv Crown Guard here. We can level here, get in 5 Bastion, I guess. I don't know. I feel like Bard's actually a little bit better here, but maybe he just wants more frontline. Also, I like his positioning for the most part. This is something that a lot of people have noted on. Okay, it's a little bit not that great here, but I can talk about it in the next fight. But somebody actually put out like a positioning guide for this comp, just a generic guide for this comp, but they talked a lot. They had this really cool positioning tech that I think was one of the big takeaways for me from it, is that ideally you want to have a unit like Lilia in the front line that the enemy front line ends up wrapping around, and then you put Ahri so that she is aggroing onto the unit in front of the unit that's wrapping. Yeah, I actually kind of would like to see Ahri swapped with this Poppy here for the positioning, but I mean, this still kind of works, but Ahri next to the Lilia always. And the idea, once again, not really going to happen here, but if the enemy front line were to wrap like this, Ahri's targeting here, she throws her orb out, it hits this unit, and it also hits this unit that's wrapped, and like it can potentially hit other units as well if there's like more units wrapping. Yeah, this positioning doesn't do that much for Ahri. She's really just hitting that unit, but I mean, yeah, it's still not bad by any means. And hey, we're continuing to win streak here. Yeah, I love this itemization for Ahri, the JG Guard Breaker. I got to do a deep dive into Ahri itemization. I mean, like why am I even saying we're gonna do it after the game? Why not just do it during the game here? Boom, top comps. This isn't like a perfect science here. I'd like to do it more in depth, but the statistics certainly say, okay, first thing you can go do is look at units here and look at like, oh, sorry, my phone's on the edge of my tail. That probably sounded horrible for you guys. The statistics, yeah, the statistics do like a 3-item Lilia more than a 3-item Poppy. You can see here 3-item Lilia averages better. And then Ahri versus Zoe, about the same at 3 items here. A 0-item Ahri does way worse than a 0-item Zoe though. So like the statistics kind of lean towards Ahri items over Zoe. Also, I'm pretty sure these are in order of like how often they're itemized. Yeah, JG. The stats actually like JG a lot onto Ahri, which is interesting. Like much worse than something like Zoe. I think the idea is that, you know, you just want something like a blue buff to get her casting, but then like after that, like you just want straight up damage. And I don't see Guard Breaker here, but I have to imagine the stats actually don't look like it that much. They'd like something like a Death Cap more, but obviously that's not as buildable. It is better than something like a Nashor's Tooth here. So okay, we learned a bit. And like obviously, if you want to go crazy, you can do stuff like go to Explorer, type in Ahri, Zoe, Poppy, Lilia, and like get the entire comp in here, and then say, okay, if I've hit an RE3, like you can even do you can even do split by item holder and see like what the stats say is best. And I'll do not, yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, like say we have RE3, Zoe 3, what do the stats say that like the biggest like delta itemization is? And obviously you can't go too crazy, but and the stats are saying like random Lilia items. Obviously stats are like, you know, just you can also just go by play rate here. I like going by play rate gives you more reasonable stuff, and then look at delta from here. And the stats say Ahri a little bit more itemized than Zoe, but it says it's about the same stats actually, honestly. You know, like 2 Ahri items here, 2 Zoe items up here, about the same delta. Blue actually has a better delta on Zoe than it does on Ahri, which is interesting. But, oh, sorry, on my mic. That probably sounds terrible for you. But yeah, like you can also start digging deeper. Like, okay, if we go for a blue buff, then statistics really like JG onto Ahri, and then like what these do and what's our last Ahri item ideally, it looks like it would really like to be something like a death cap. And then like even you can tell like we don't even have Guard Breaker in the stats here because we're digging so deep, but it can be a nice way to understand a little bit like what items are good on what units. You can't go too crazy, and obviously the biggest thing in a game of TFT is like item economy. You know, where can you put the items when and stuff like that. So yeah, makes sense. We are fighting a Varus board, which is something that's certainly come more into the meta, and they're Renan's augment category 5 Varus. Looks like not good enough here. They were stuck on Varus 1 at 5-3, so yeah. that tends to mean that you are probably not top 4 in the game. Fair enough. Last Lily item or last Zoe item here, both certainly takeable. Blue buff onto Zoe would actually be great just to get her casting some more. Yeah, I love this. Even though we have the Shojin, it's still just a lot of casting for the Zoe here. So I think this makes perfect sense to pick up. And yeah, ooh, we also have the Rise here, so we can level for this here. Ooh, this is actually an interesting call out here. I prefer this personally, but I know there are certainly people who prefer just playing more Arcana on this board. That's another thing that you could dig into the stats for. And look, I mean, because I want to do it. Let's do it real quick. So just say we're playing this combination of units. Don't even say you've 3-starred them, and look at traits. So we can look at Scholar. 4 Scholar has like blindingly good stats. What about Bastion? 4 Bastion has blindingly good stats as well. And then Arcana has, ooh, yeah. The statistics certainly say that you do not want to be playing 2 Arcana over one of those options. It certainly looks like. Definitely, like, you know, if you can get an Arcana spat and you can play more late game, it's maybe good. And, like, maybe if you get really good Arcanas, you can play this. But, you know, compare Arcana to Bastion and to Scholar, like, the big delta you're getting from 4 Scholar and from 4 Arcana says it's a little bit better than 4 Bastion, I guess. But it's also harder to fit, right? You need to fit 3 extra units instead of 2 because you're already playing 2 Bastion on this board. So there you go. For all the people who said they feel like the comp's better when you play Arcana instead of Scholar, the stats definitely disagree. And that was also like before, people were saying that before the buff to Scholar, so maybe, you know, maybe it was more reasonable back then. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, we are 9 streak here. We are cruising with this board. Spot looks amazing, honestly. There's a Rumble. This is Molten Caramel, which is one of the strongest. Ooh, and the Rumble is just walking straight in a backline. Oh, Milk got so styled on here. Actually, insane positioning from this guy to see it. Like, Milk is solo frontlining this here. He's allowing himself to get wrapped. Oh my god. Oh, okay, that was weird. How much of the game did we just skip there? Oh, okay, 5-6, 5-6. Okay, we just skipped the end of that fight, it looks like. Okay, that's all right. I think, wait, look at our win streak here. Did we win that? We still won that fight. That's insane. That's insane that we actually won that fight versus the Rumble. I mean, just goes to show how strong this comp is, that we had like Wisp positioning versus the Rumble, and the Zoe just cleaned up. We definitely got to not have that happen in the future if this guy gets any stronger, but still, this comp just absolutely clearing. I mean, our augments look so good, and our itemization looks so good. Like, this is the ideal spot for this comp, I would say. But like, I'm really I don't know. I don't want to exaggerate too much, but I did say on my patch notes review that, you know, this might be the dominant reroll comp this patch. The nice thing, though, I guess if you want to say something, is that if you're contested this comp, like, we didn't see Milk top 4 and Ice type top 4. That was kind of the issue with Syndra, is that, like, you know, everyone could play it and it was just stable at 2-star, but at least this comp you do need all the 3-stars for it to be quite strong. So, like, you know, I wouldn't say just contest anybody within this comp and just play it whenever you want. Like, you should still only play it from, like, good spots, but it is pretty crazy how strong this comp is as a 1-cost reroll. Of course, we are Spellblades here. We are the Forge augment, which has to be fantastic here. So, like, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something. Okay, so we don't get styled on this time. Also, we have the Ahri right on the Rumble here. Really nice positioning from Milk here to just basically assassinate the Rumble with the Ahri's true damage. And yeah, this fight doesn't even look close. The spike of getting 4 Scholar, and I feel like is so big. Speaking of 4 Scholar, we could look to itemize Rise here with just like a Gwynsu's. We're looking at Starax here. Huh, interesting. I mean, maybe his idea is he just needs more frontline here. He doesn't need more damage, and just randomly throwing something on Rise. I could see it. Get the better Arcana unit in. Oh, really? Yeah, I would be surprised if that's better. I think maybe if you get to like late game, you can do that. But I mean, this is already a late game, and it's so much damage, the extra AP from Ahri. So yeah, I don't think that's better. But interesting to look at him try it here. Ooh, we're also fighting a pretty strong built diff board. This fight is really close, but oh my god, RH Sliv just barely there. Win that fight, and yeah, the rest of the lobby getting really low here. We're also potentially looking at a level 10 this game. Like, we are close to it. Oh my god, we get the dragon here. This is huge, just to like guarantee a win in one of these fights. Yeah, we also just didn't use this duplicator the entire rest of the game, which was kind of silly. I think someone was yapping at him in his chat to use it on the Bard last round, but you know, all good, who cares. This is the built diff guy again. The Fiora the Nasus. The problem is our board actually does so well into this with the assassination potential of just the Ahri to kill the Fiora. And, oh, this might be a double kill here. Yep, it is a double kill for Milk. An easy dub on this comp. Just how we drew it up, man. You start the game with Spellblades, itemize the Ahri, and it was GG's. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch and all my links down below. Do I have anything to shout out? Oh, I will shout out. We are now partnering with op.gg for their TFT, their team builder. They have everything that, you know, a good TFT website should have. They have team builder, they have stats, and they have an overlay which I'm going to be using when I stream. So check all that stuff out in the description down below. If you click it out, click the link. It's cool. Yeah. Okay. See you guys later. Bye.